The Jungle Book stars Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Scarlett Johansson, Lupita Nyong'o, and Christopher Walken. The film is about Mowgli, who after spending his childhood with a pack of wolves in the jungle is threatened by the tiger Shere Khan, and now must go to a man village for safety. And I should also say that this movie is not a direct remake from the original. Yeah, the story is the same, but it is told very differently, and some of the characters are also portrayed in new ways. Growing up as a kid, I was never the biggest fan of The Jungle Book. I mean, I liked it and would watch it once in a while, but it was never one of my personal favorite Disney films. My brother, on the other hand, growing up, he had a big obsession with elephants, so of course he loved this film. And there was a good 6-month stretch where he'd watch this movie every single day. Like, I cannot count the times that I would come home from school and he'd be in the living room doing the Elephant March. So yeah, when this movie was announced, I wasn't very excited for it. I thought it was just another live-action remake. But then I saw the trailer, and holy smokes did I get excited for this film, and it actually ended up being one of my most anticipated films of this year. And this movie blew me away. It was incredible. It improved on the original in so many different aspects. And let's start with the CGI, because when you're watching this film, the only thing that is real is Mowgli. Everything else was filmed on a sound stage. And even some scenes with Mowgli, he's CGI too. From the opening shot when we go in the jungle and see the waterfall, it is absolutely beautiful, and it's not even real. And as this movie progresses, the shots and the landscapes get more and more breathtaking. The animals look fantastic and very realistic. Shere Khan in particular, the detail that they put on his face is astonishing. And the action in this movie looks phenomenal. There are even parts where they put water and mud on the camera. And the kid that played Mowgli, Neel Sethi, I believe is how you pronounce his name, he was awesome, especially when you consider his limitations. He was the only real thing in this movie. I believed him when he was talking to all the different animals, and I love how they gave more to his character and allowed you to understand his motivation. You believe that he has been living in the jungle for a while. He's even conflicted about his place in the tribe. He's very crafty with things, and they even add scars to his body, which you would believe a kid that's playing with wolves would have scars. And I love Bill Murray as Baloo. He's a different Baloo from what you'll remember in the original film. He's more selfish, but just as lovable. And I liked how they changed his relationship with Mowgli a bit, and it has an arc to it. He is also the main source of comedy in this film, and he is so funny. His interactions with Bagheera are so entertaining. Idris Elba was so good as Shere Khan, and again, different from the original, much darker. And he's also in it a lot more. If you don't recall, in the original film, Shere Khan doesn't come in until pretty late in the story, and you understand his motivations, which always helps make a great villain, and he's very ruthless, and I think that kids will find him pretty scary. I also enjoyed Scarlett Johansson as Kaa, not as much as the original, but that character is very hard to top. And I found that her Kaa fit the tone of this film much better. And I loved Christopher Walken as King Louie. Again, different from the original. He is more serious and very intimidating. I also like that there is more at stake in his scene. It's not just a fun, memorable throwaway scene like it is in the original. The direction by Jon Favreau is incredible, and he's actually the one that pushed doing CGI instead of live action or motion capture. And when you think about it, a lot could have went wrong with this film. I mean, he had quite a bit at stake. And the end result was a beautifully directed film filled with heart and so much imagination. He was able to keep a pretty serious tone throughout this film while still throwing in humor that flowed and never felt out of place. And the pacing for this film is great. It never rushed or dragged. I also love that he was able to create a world that felt lived in. Like I said, Mowgli had scars and so did Shere Khan. But also the way in which these animals interacted with each other, you felt that they had been living in this jungle for a very long time. And the script, it is another reason why this movie is better than the original. And I watched the original movie yesterday, and it is basically a bunch of random scenes that are barely held together by the plot. The story is crafted so much better in this movie. It never feels choppy, and it flows very well. And finally, there are a couple of throwbacks to songs in the original film, and they never felt forced or out of place. They fit within the story, and they did not last super long. And for me, all they did was put a smile on my face. I only have one gripe with this film, and that's the character Kaa. I wish she would have been in the film more, and the way in which she is portrayed, it really diminishes her role and purpose in this movie. And really, all it would have taken was one more scene with that character. Overall, I loved this movie. The CGI was breathtaking, the direction was incredible, and the acting was awesome. It basically improved on the original in every aspect, and this truly is a film that the entire family will enjoy. I'm gonna give The Jungle Book an A. If you have seen the movie, let me know what you thought in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, or you can just click right here to see more.